unspoilt cathedral city on the edge of the rolling South Downs National Park, Winchester is England's ancient capital and the former seat of King Alfred the Great. Winchester is most well known for its 11th century cathedral and for the Great Hall, which for over 700 years has housed the mysterious King Arthur's Round Table. It's the birthplace of the modern game of cricket and the resting place of author Jane Austen. Winchester is truly a destination for all seasons. In this video, we'll uncover all the major attractions, explain some of the historic past, and prepare you to get the most out of a day or weekend in this glorious part of England. Welcome to Winchester. The town lies in a valley of the River Itchen. The central position in the Roman road system points to its early importance. Long before London gained its predominance, Winchester was the most important city in England. It was the capital of the Kingdom of Wessex and became a centre of learning under King Alfred the Great. Several early kings, including Alfred and Canute II, were buried here in the cathedral. Long before London gained its predominance, Winchester was the most important city in England. The glory of the historic city is the Great Cathedral, with the longest nave in England at 170 metres. The original Saxon cathedral church of St Swithin was replaced by the Norman structure of Bishop Wakelin. The building lacks a spire, and although it may appear unremarkable from the outside, it's the world's longest intact medieval cathedral. The cathedral was consecrated in 1093, and work continued throughout the early 12th century, and this is the core of the building as it stands today. After visiting the cathedral, we really recommend to wander around the Cathedral Close, where you will see a number of delightful buildings dating from the 13th century. You'll also find the remains of the medieval deanery and a delightful half-timbered corner that includes the Pilgrim's Hall, dating back to the 13th century. The primary entrance to the close is the Prior's Gate, a 15th century structure featuring a simple four-centred arch and original doors adorned with an ornamental stonework. The High Street is as interesting, bustling and lively as it would have been hundreds of years ago. From high-end fashion shops, antiques, cafes and ordinary day-to-day items, it's a delight to wander along this predominantly pedestrianised thoroughfare, even if you're not planning to buy. Take time to look at the historical buildings lining each side and you'll find an eclectic mix of premises from different eras. Do look up as well, not just ahead. There's a whole load to see. God Begot's house will be one of the highlights. Don't miss the passageway beside the building. Look up the roof lines and timbers. Here you'll also find the hidden Royal Oak pub, dating from 1002 AD. It's one of the oldest pubs you're likely to visit. The Butter Cross of Winchester is a holy cross dating back to the mid-14th century, and it's thought it may have been a gift of Cardinal Beaufort, who was Bishop of Winchester. The Butter Cross has a number of figurines. There are actually 12 of them, amongst them the Blessed Virgin and a plethora of saints. Later figures added were those of William of Wykeham and King Alfred. The cross rests upon 5 octagonal steps and is situated in the High Street in the centre of the commercial world in Winchester. Butter, cheese, eggs, milks and all were probably sold from the steps of the cross to the good people of Winchester. Wolvesey Castle was the main residence of the Bishop of Winchester in the Middle Ages. The medieval bishops of Winchester were rich and powerful men, the relations and advisors of the kings. Wolvesey Castle, standing a stone's throw from Winchester Cathedral, was their main residence throughout the Middle Ages. Bishops of Winchester held one of the highest positions of power in the English Church as well as in the national politics. They owned vast estates stretching from Somerset through to London. The extensive remains date largely from the great 12th century palace of the Bishop Henry, the brother of King Stephen. Though ruinous, the buildings still evoke an impression of their former grandeur. There are only two surviving medieval gates to the city of Winchester. One is Westgate and the other is Kingsgate, which is near the site of one of the Roman gates to the city and was the original entrance to the royal palace. Winchester Castle was built in 1067 in the southwest corner of Winchester's city walls. Winchester was then one of the most important cities in England, and the castle became a major royal fortress protected in stone and used as a residence by visiting monarchs. Of the Norman castle, only the Great Hall remains. Prominently displayed on the wall at the west of the hall is the Round Table. It was built in the 13th century during the reign of King Edward, who had an interest in the legend of King Arthur. The table is 5.5 meters in diameter, weighing 1,200 kilograms, and constructed of 121 pieces of oak. Originally unpainted, then later decorated by Henry VIII to show the 24 knights and Henry resembling King Arthur himself. The famous English author Jane Austen spent her last 2 weeks in Winchester. In 1817, Jane became ill and moved to a house in College Street with her sister to be closer to her doctor. But sadly, after a couple of weeks, at the age of 41, she passed away on the 18th of July 1817, and a few days later she was laid to rest in Winchester Cathedral. Winchester, once the capital of Wessex Kingdom, under the legendary King Alfred the Great, still bears the mark of his reign. A towering statue of Alfred overlooking the Abbey Gardens and the bustling High Street serves as a timeless reminder of his legacy. Erected in 1899, the statue commemorates the millennium of his passing. Winchester's Old City Mill is the country's oldest working water mill, steeped in over 1,000 years of history. It's a rare surviving example of an urban corn mill, and there has been a mill on the site since the Saxon period. The city mill is unusual in being located almost in the heart of Winchester, whereas most mills are well away from the urban areas. The current Guildhall building was constructed in 1873, and the Guildhall served as a meeting place of the Borough of Winchester until 1974, when it became the seat of the government for the enlarged city of Winchester. Winchester is very walkable, as you've seen, and we hope you've enjoyed this tour and you use it to help you create your own itinerary for a fantastic visit to this ancient capital of England. We really hope you like our videos. And please like and subscribe if you do.